Hello folks, and welcome to yet another Music Alerts packed with vinyl, and this week, well, I'm not feeling too great. I might have a spot of Anthrax. First up, from Crash Records, originally released in 1982, we have a re-release of a 4-track EP from the UK anarcho-punks Anthrax, called Capitalism is Cannibalism, based on the idea that capitalism exploits and devours its participants. Never ones to sit on the fence, this particular group, and the title has been taken from the US political activist Eugene Victor Debs from a speech he made in 1905 to an audience in New York at the Grand Central Palace. A bit of history for you. Obviously then, Anthrax were rather well read, hey? Sticking with Crash Records, check out Andy T and Weary of Flesh, a 14-track album. Now, Andy T is still with us apparently, but last I heard, he wasn't very well, so best wishes to him. This is a guy who released the single I Still Hate Thatcher, and the insightful album entitled Nostalgia Kills Creativity, which makes you think, I would say. This re-release of a 1982 original is, how would you describe it? Well, it's poetry, and it's, again, anarcho-punk attitude, I would say. So it's in your face, it's quite aggressive, and it examines the exploitation of animals, of the poor, and of women. It's anti-drugs, it's anti-military, and much more. This is a super serious attack on society, a mirror on society. As Andy says himself, blind acceptance is the food of your paranoia. That's crass, they get the brain working, don't they? Anyway, over to a band called Avawaves, although every time I see the name of this band, I want to say Airwaves, but it's not Airwaves, it's Avawaves or Avawaves. I think Avawaves is probably how they pronounce it, but you tell me. Anyway, this is a new album called Heartbeat. Avawaves consists of 2 ladies, Anna Phoebe and Aisling Brewer, and their third LP via the label One Little Independent, issuing synths with violin and piano, so you get a kind of neoclassical sound here. There's little bits of Tangerine Dream dropped in, there's bits of Bristol-based trip-hop, I would say. There's even a little bit of Enya chucked in for good measure. It's interesting stuff. 3 now from the label Acid Jazz. First up is Volume 2 of the Ballistic Brothers versus the Eccentric Afros, which is a great name. The Eccentric Afros. This one includes some wonderful trip-hop grooves packed with jazzy flavours, funky grooves, deep soul atmosphere. It kind of reminds me of 90s Ninja Tune at its height, and it's rather wonderful stuff. Also, check out Mr. Super Cool. That's the name of the album, from the singer-songwriter-producer, session guitarist Graham D. A genuinely lost album, this. Sometimes you hear about lost albums. This one actually was. This one was originally recorded in 1973, and the album itself, well, it's been found almost track by track. 2 tracks here, a few tracks there, and it's all been glued together as the original album was recorded. Said album is packed with Graham D's friends and other session musician talent. This is a soul-infused, funky 70s outing, combining ballads and up-tempo ditties. Excellent work. Third outing from Acid Jazz arrives from the soul legend Millie Jackson. This is a 4-track, it's a remix project from Dimitri from Paris and his cohort Opolopo. Is it Opolopo? I think it's Opolopo. Anyway, they have remixed the track We Got to Hit It Off from Millie Jackson. This one is limited to 500 copies, and it's ideal for clubland. Oh, and keep a lookout for the new 7-inch single bonus from Acid Jazz from Matt Berry, featuring on the A-side Silver Rings, and on the flip, New Street Adventure. Let's keep the 7-inch single vibe going, shall we? And we'll talk about the Kent label now, and a spot of Northern Soul. There's a distinct soul vibe going on with this particular video. Hey, anyway, we have a dinked 7-inch on the Pied Piper imprint from The Hesitations with the up-tempo That's What Love Is, and the finger-clicking Soul Superman #2 on the flip. This one was originally released in 1967. Another Kent 7-inch, this time originally from 1966, is from Valerie Simpson, and this soul outing, another soul one, is called Look Away on the A-side, plus It's Just Love on the flip. Also check out the 7-inch from the Cheques, apparently members of the US Air Force. Another up-tempo soul outing in the groove from 1967. This one actually, and I should have said this before, is a split 7-inch. So, two sides, obviously, it's a 7-inch, but from two different groups. On the first side is the Cheques, as I've mentioned. On the other side, the Merits, an instrumental called Arabian Jerk. It features a kind of Arabic-flavoured organ sound somewhere in there. Now, apparently, the musicians on this track, they had, well, this was a kind of side thing. This was them being all free and easy and creative and artistic. They had a day job, and their day job was working for a label called Bandstand USA. What they used to do as a day job was they would play on sound-alike records. We used to get that in the UK. I think they were called Top of the Pops LPs, where session musicians would pretend to be chart bands and they would play chart hits of the day. Same thing here with the Merits. They had sound-alike records of popular chart hits. Fascinating stuff. I love little historical nuggets like that. Anyway, back to the plot, and we're going to go over to BGP now, another label, and two related compilation albums under the This Is moniker. One called This Is Northern Soul, featuring 14 essentials from the likes of the Olympics, Alice Clark, Bobby Garrett, and Felice Taylor. You also get This Is Funky Jazz, 10 tracks this time, featuring the likes of Harold Alexander, Oliver Nelson, Lonnie Liston Smith, and the big man himself, Richard Groove Holmes. Onto the Hubro label now, and a new release from, how do you pronounce this, folks? Geir Sundstol, apologies if I've got that wrong, called, again, Sacked Film, apologies if I've got that wrong, which features, what, analog soundscapes, you might say, full of viola, cello, violin. There's a down-tempo sadness about this, a kind of dramatic sadness, a kind of resigned feeling. It's got a grand scope, and it does have a soundtrack feel. One to check out, I would say. And finally, part 2 of my massive apology to 4AD and the late running of a batch of vinyl releases they kindly sent over. And we have the last one in that batch, the LP from Byeeee, formed by ex-Throwing Muses vocalist and guitarist Tanya Donnelly, the album that is, called King, originally released in 1994, this time repressed on green vinyl, because why not? This was the band's second album. The sound changed a little bit from their debut, more tighter rock sounds, you might say, moving away from the debut dream pop. It's interesting stuff. Different from the debut, yes. I have to say I prefer the dream pop style of the original, but I still like the second album. Anyway, check it out yourself. And that's your lot, folks. Thanks for staying to the end of this particular video. Before you go, can you click on the like and subscribe buttons, please, just down below here. It just helps the old algorithm and all that jazz. And the, what's it called? The channel. That's the name, hey. Down below, I will link any links that need to be linked. And in addition to that, I'll be back very soon with another one of these. Probably yet more vinyl. I've got a backlog of vinyl, so I'll probably be wax-centric next time around. I hope to have your company anyway at that time. Until then, folks, bye-bye for now.